Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Masters. You can talk about God all you want. If you want to get close and know about God, you have to work with mind. It's just how it is. Thinking about God is not the same thing as knowing God. Why mind? If you watch, you will notice that there's this thing called mind in your life. It's not your foot, not your hand, not your nose. It's inside, and it talks. That's what it does. It talks. Why did I do that? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done it. No, it's okay. They didn't notice. Yes or no? Well, very good. So you noticed. In truth, that's what witness consciousness is. It's not something very complicated. It's, have you noticed that there's this thing called mind, and that it's rather loquacious? And have you noticed that things it says can cause your heart to change all by themselves? Just all of a sudden, it says something and you feel bad. It says something, you feel good. The problem is, most people don't consider that a problem. It's just what is. It's just always been that way, always is that way. Okay? If something is always there, you don't notice it because it's always there. It's when there's change that you notice. Okay. First, what does it talk about? You have to, at some point, understand mind if you want out. Otherwise, it seems normal. It seems normal that that's going on in there. It's not. It is not normal. It's like if my hand's doing this all the time, okay, I'll go to a doctor. Okay, there's something wrong. Let's try to deal with it, correct? That's doing that all the time, and you don't think there's anything wrong with it. Okay? You're just totally lost in it. It's just what is. This is how you deal with it. Not normal, you meaning humanity. Okay? If it says something that makes you feel better, you like it. If it says something that makes you feel bad, you try to find it to say something or do something or have something happen that will make it say something that's nice. Now, you listen to how simple that is. All right, let's start with the simplest thing. What does it talk about? In the simplest sense, the trouble is it's so mumbled and so much noise, you can't figure it out. In the simplest sense, you have these things called senses. I call them sensors, because I'm a computer guy. They're sensors. They're things that pick up sound and pick up sight and pick up touch. They sense the outside world, correct? Therefore, they're sensors. Just like a computer has sensors. All right? What happens? It comes in, it picks it up. Does what happened outside actually come in? Is she now inside of me? It's tight in there, crowded. No, there's nothing inside of me except me. It's a single occupancy apartment. I'm living in here. But get this, I talk about it all the time, but it's important because you don't get it. You get it, but you don't think about it. You should think about it. The world is out there. It's not in here. That out there has absolutely nothing to do with in here. They're totally different planes of reality. Out there is made of atoms. It's made of the quantum vibrations. It's just physics, physical world. That's what's out there, and that's what they study. And they've done a hell of a job. I can't I talk about it too much, so I can't talk about it. But it's a major part of my spiritual path, understanding the quantum field. Well, that's so complicated. No, it's not. They found out there are not atoms. There are not neutrons and protons. Those are not the smallest particles. And they are not even things. They're not particles. Quantum physics will tell you there are no particles. There are wavelets in a field of energy. We call it the quantum field. It can vibrate. Like the ocean has waves. They're not things. They're wavelets. They're energy moving that you can see. They come up and it goes down. It's got peaks and troughs and so on. And they're all different. That's what's down there. That's what they found was down there. Where? Everywhere's. The quantum field is omnipresent. All the stars are made of it. The black holes are made of it. Every single thing in the universe, physical, underneath all of that form for infinity is just wavelets, perturbations, aggravations in a field of energy. And those wavelets interact with each other and they make up neutrons and protons. That's what's out there. Your senses are amazing. I would say they pick that up. No, they are made of that same thing they are made of. All physical form, everything, your body, everything. You're supposed to have what? 32 trillion cells. Your body's made up of 32 trillion living cells. Well, the living part we can discuss later, but the cell membrane, the physical aspect of the cell is that quantum field vibrating. All 32 trillion of them. Wow. That's what's out there. Where's the beef? How can you have problems? Look at me. How can you have problems? But the politics, how can you have problems? It's not even there. It's just wavelets in a field of energy everywhere. And then the wavelets become quarks, leptons, and bosons, they give them names, right? And then they come together and they make neutrons and protons, and electrons, and then they make atoms, and then they make molecules, and then they make you and everybody else. That's all you're looking at. Do you understand? You can't have a problem. There's nothing happening. This is what your scientists have told you. Isn't that me? I don't understand this stuff, but I like to hear what they found. Okay? Will you please, for one moment in your life, understand you can't have a problem? There's nothing out there. Is there? You ever look at a periodic table? The table of elements. You've seen it. Hydrogen and oxygen. This. Go look at it and freak out. Which of those little boxes are you turned on by? Are you turned off by? Use your mind. This is your intellectual mind. You have the ability to understand things at a very, very deep level. You don't have to be a genius, you don't have to be Einstein, but you can understand what he said. Energy is matter, matter is energy, and the difference is simply a temporary state. There's Einstein. It's just energy moving into fields everywhere. Okay, so there's our starting position of mind, which is you look at it and you say, hello, what the heck are you doing in there? So the first thing that happens with mind, simplest, most base thing, the most fundamental thing, is those vibrations out there. That's what they are. We put them together. I can't help myself. Probably you haven't. I have gotten right up close to a flat screen TV. You ever done it? You're watching a movie. I dare you. Be watching a movie and just shove your nose right against that thing. Do you see the movie? No, you see dots. Pixels. They bothering you? Which of those dots is bothering you? That's the atoms. It's the same thing. It's because of how far back you're standing that they average out to make people, buildings, things. They're just atoms. And not even, I told you, they're just wavelets in a quantum field. Okay. You have senses. That's part of what they created. You have these senses, tactile, optical, auditory, right? You have senses. They pick up those vibrations. That's what they're picking up. They're picking up vibrations. What is sound? Wavelets. What is sight? Wavelets. You're picking up vibrations. So you're out there, and what happens? The vibrations hit your sensory sensors, And they have this wiring system, just like a computer. Your nerves, a pretty brilliant wiring system. One neuron to the next neuron, and they keep passing the vibration back. So the person doesn't come in, the thing doesn't come in, the building doesn't come in, they stay out there. But they emanate these vibrations that come in. All right, what do I mean to emanate these vibrations? What is light? Wavelets. It's wavelets of light passing through here. When that light hits her body, it doesn't make it through. Her body is dense enough. The atoms of her body are dense enough so the light reflects off, bounces back. Next to her, there's air. The light makes it past the air because it's not as dense. That's why it looks like she's there. Turn off the lights. There's not light bouncing off her body. That's why you don't see her. Light shining on it, and the atoms bounce back the reflection, and they come to your senses. And that's what happens. And that's all that's happening. Is it okay we talk about that? What's so spiritual about this? Everything, because it destroys mind. If you think properly, then you understand what's going on. But we don't think properly. We believe in the illusion, which is just wavelets bouncing around. Oh, fine. So what happens? They bounce off sound, sight, touch, whatever it is, and they come in through your senses. They pass up your wiring system, your nervous system. They end up in this central command center of the brain. All of it ends up there. It does. You know, the knee doesn't know anything. It doesn't know it's there, but it comes up to the brain. All right? And I'll do it. I always do it, right? That's as far as most science goes. It's the brain. No, the brain is just a bundle of nerves that all center and end up there. They emanate energy. The vibrations that came in, they get back there, but they're subtle. And they create a vibration in the mental plane. And that's what mind is. The vibrations being created in the mental plane. I don't see her out there. I see her in here. The light bounces off of that, comes back in my senses, and it renders, just like the flat screen TV, it renders an image in this subtle vibration, way subtler than the brain. The brain is still atoms. The mind is not made of atoms. It's a way subtler vibration. The quantum field is not made of atoms. It makes atoms. There's even subtler vibration in this universe than the quantum field. That's already gross enough to create atoms. There's a line in the Bible which I never understood. I'm not a Bible reader. I never understood, but now I understand it because it made no sense to me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Wait a minute, a mansion's a big house. How can my Father's house have many mansions? What does it mean? There are many planes of reality. The many things more than the physical plane. Your Father's house meaning all of creation. So there's the physical plane. That's one of the houses, one of the mansions. There's the mental plane. There's the emotional plane. They're just subtler and subtler vibrations of energy. So the vibration that comes in through your physical senses passes up. Yes, it collects in the brain and you can see what's going on. But you inside, because you see this, how does she look like that? Because I'm in here and it repaints the picture in here and I'm looking at it in here. You do not look out through your eyes. No one has ever looked out through their eyes. Your eyes are sensors that pick up the vibrations, pass them back to you. It renders in this subtle energy called the mind. You call it mind, and you are looking at it in there. There. I never stop. I'll stop for a minute. Is that weird for you? Does physics not say that? Is that not the reality of what's going on? So it stimulates the nerves, comes in, it paints a picture. They don't know it paints a picture in the mind. They think it stops at the brain. It does not stop at the brain. The brain doesn't see you. The consciousness sees. Sees what? Sees the image that got rendered in your mind. So that's the first function of mind. It allows you to pick up the world out there. Otherwise, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it was there. Okay? But I'm telling you, you're in here. I love it. You're in. Hello. You know you're in there. Are you in there? Are you in there? Can you close your eyes and still see things in your mind? You wish you didn't have to. Can your mind create the vibrations itself without the stimulation of the outside world? Yes or no? Can you dream? What is that? It's the mind, those same rendering of subtle energy, vibrations, being created in the mind. It does it all the time. So now you have mind divorced from the outside world. So the first thing it's for is to pick up the outside world so that you in there, the self, the consciousness, the essence of your being is able to experience this plane. Otherwise, you would not. All right, fine. That's not a problem. So far, we don't have a problem with mind. I don't want to get rid of it. I like experiencing the world. And so it comes in. Good. Congratulations. Come on in. Come on in. You come in. You come in. Come in. You're all welcome. How hard is it to see? How hard is it? You talk about witness consciousness, seeing what your mind is doing. How hard is it for you to just look outside and see the world? Effortless. Close your eyes. It's not there. It's there. Okay? That is witness consciousness of the physical plane, not the mental plane. You have trouble watching your mind because it sucks you into it. It distracts you. If something outside distracts you enough, you don't see anything else. That's what distraction means. It pulled your consciousness down to it, and you can't get it off. You're fixated on it, something like that. The mind is so distracting because it never stops. And so it distracts your consciousness into what's going on in there, and you don't even know you're the self because you're so lost in it. Okay? We're getting there. So the first function of mind is to render the outside world. And like I said, you don't ever think about it, but why don't you study science, at least at that level, to understand that nothing I've said so far they don't agree with. That's what's happening. You have senses that pick up the outside world. They send the messages back, and you in there, the consciousness, the awareness of being, receives them. But you don't receive them in the brain. You do receive them in the brain. It's almost as if the brain brings it all together, but its vibration is so subtle. The electrical impulses are so subtle that they stimulate the mental plane. They stimulate the subtler plane to create the vibration that got picked up. It's not like it's almost like that. That's exactly what's happening. Energy gets subtler and subtler and subtler. Like ice, water, vapor. The same thing, aren't they? What's the difference? How subtle, how fast the vibrations are. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. Same thing with all this. It passes through, it stimulates the very subtle vibrations of the mental plane. And you're in there, living in there, watching that. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. So where's the beef? What's the problem? Now we have no problems. We just experience, right? I'm telling you, when they talked about the Garden of Eden, the fall from the garden, that's where Adam and Eve lived, in that state. They're experiencing God's creation. Their God experienced his own creation. Consciousness experiencing what consciousness created. Fine, it's wonderful. Everything happens. Yin to yang, alpha to omega. You've heard the words. Everything happens. Not good or bad or right or wrong. There's a bug. Is it good? No, stop it. There's a snake. Is it okay? No, it's just what is. You're just experiencing reality. That's the whole purpose of creation. God wanted to experience himself. And so consciousness is experiencing reality. I know it's so hard because we have so many problems. Just imagine for a moment, that's all that's happening. But there's that person, there's that person. So what? That's just something you're experiencing. Better or worse or good or bad. It's raining. Okay, it's not raining. Okay, no one's in there doing anything about it except experiencing. So be here now, isn't it? Just experiencing it. You're not experiencing it. It's neither doing nor not doing. All the deep teachings come in right there. What are you doing? Nothing. What are you not doing? Nothing. I'm not stopping them from being a snake or making there be a snake. Nothing. Just everything is what it is, and you are the consciousness experiencing it. That is what mind does. It brings it up to you so that you can experience it. There's no problem with that. There's no Democrat or Republican. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no right. There's no wrong. There's no male. There's no female. There's just consciousness experiencing creation. And it's all one. It's all the same. All right. What happened? What's this big fall that happened? Consciousness is experiencing creation. No problem. Have you noticed that not everything that comes in feels the same? I don't mean feels with your hands. That some vibrations are higher than other vibrations. Some vibrations are more pleasant than other vibrations. They come in and they just have different vibrations. The Buddhists say as follows: everything has its nature. That's what's meant. Everything has its nature. Every vibration is different. Male comes in as a vibration. Female comes in as a vibration. A dog comes in as a vibration. A cat comes in as a vibration. Snake comes in as a vibration. A rattlesnake comes in as a vibration. Storms come in, it's a vibration. Balmy, beautiful days come in, it's a vibration. They're neither good nor bad, nor right nor wrong. It's just creation. There are 300 billion stars in your one galaxy. Is that okay with you? And what's very funny, you say, of course, why wouldn't it be? Well, then why is it not okay that you have a zit on your cheek? Everything just is all over. And there's 2 trillion of those galaxies, all with hundreds of billions of stars. You never think about them for one single second at all, right? But you think about what somebody said yesterday. Okay, we're going to build mind. So far, we're pretty clean. So it comes in, but it all vibrates differently. Consciousness, this is the essence. Consciousness can get distracted. Have you noticed that? Can your consciousness get distracted? Someone's talking to you. Have you ever had somebody talking to you and you hear a word they were saying? Because you're too busy being distracted by your thoughts about what they're saying? So, consciousness, this is the fall, and I ain't touching it. Don't you dare ask me why, right? So they're experiencing, God's there experiencing his own creation, and then something comes in that pulls awareness, consciousness, more to it than something else. A loud sound, a flash of light, a beautiful woman, a handsome man. Something distracted your consciousness to focus more on that than on everything else. That's what distraction is. Distraction is awareness being pulled down to an object. And the object can be inside, the object can be outside. What happens when consciousness, which is God, consciousness is the creator of the universe, consciousness is everything, when that divine, infinite, one consciousness gets distracted by one thing, such as a snake that came in, or such as a noise or a sound, it focuses on it. Distraction means you focus consciousness on it. Can you focus your consciousness on a finger or a toe or on her and him? Yes, consciousness is like a beam of light. It can focus and expand. In the sixth you said about expanded consciousness. I've grown so far past that. That's ridiculous. You're not trying to expand your consciousness. You're trying to cease to contract it. You're already fully expanded. But something happens and all of a sudden your consciousness is fully distracted and contracted and then stays there. Why does it stay there? Consciousness has 2 aspects to it. It's one, just like electromagnetism. I'm sorry, teaching you physics. You've heard of electromagnetism. Well, what's the difference between electricity and magnetism? How come they're called electromagnetism? Because there is no difference. They found out that electricity and magnetism are the same force, the exact same force. They're the same thing, just like a different angle, look at the same thing from a different angle. That's what they call electromagnetism, okay? Consciousness is Chit Shakti. Chit Shakti, conscious energy. There's the 2 aspects of the force of consciousness. It is awareness and power, for Shakti. It's energy, it's conscious energy. That's what God is, conscious energy, Chit Shakti. And what happens is, when that energy, that Chit Shakti, that conscious energy that's everywhere, is all over, created everything, is doing everything, when it gets distracted, not only does your awareness get distracted, but what comes with it is energy, because they're the same thing. So that when you get distracted by something, it pulls your consciousness down to it and brings force and focus and power to it. So that when you get distracted by a thought, listen to me, it's like having 50 years of meditation, right? You get to see some stuff, all right? And it's also the deep teachings that they all taught, not me. When this vibration comes in and is received on the mental plane, and it draws consciousness to it because it distracts it, that pattern stays in your mind. Otherwise, everything passes right through, like the ocean passes right through, the water passes right through. But because you focused on it, you brought will, you brought Shakti, you brought energy to that point. And I'm telling you, the more you focus on it, the more it stays in your mind. Have you noticed? You drive by trees all the time. You drive by white lines all the time. You drive by people you don't know all the time. Then all of a sudden, one person who you thought looked like your sister who's dead, and you're just looking back, hear me? And you're going to think about that. That's not going away right then, is it? It got stuck in your mind. Things that get stuck in the mind, yeah, remember ice, water, steam? Okay, it got frozen. They got frozen. What did? The pattern that came in from outside that distracted your consciousness enough that it brought it down there. As long as that energy is focused there, it can't pass. It got frozen because you brought consciousness and energy, the same thing. What is will? Do you have will? Can you make things happen? Can you decide to pick up the glass and it happens? Can you make a thought happen? Can you try to make a thought go away? You are in there. Your consciousness has power. That is what will is, focused consciousness. When you want to think about something like math in your head or something like that, do you have to strain a little bit? Hold a quadratic equation in your mind and keep it there, then move it around, change the variables. In any event, you have to struggle to hold it in your mind at some point, and you feel tired. It uses energy. Will is the focus of consciousness. When you focus your consciousness, it can do things, can't it? You have will. Yogananda said will was everything. He said not a single thing happens without the use of will. In terms of you have will in any event. So you focus the Chit Shakti, and what happens? It gets stuck. What does? That which you focused on. God, please listen to me. I'll build it real slow for you. What you focused on stays. How long? Depends on how much you focused on it. Depends on how long it stays out there to cause you to focus on it. Are you understanding mine already? Right away. Isn't that what's going on in there? Okay. So let's just say you see a snake. Yeah, a garter snake, a garden snake goes by. You move, it caught your attention. You look at it, and it's a garden snake. You know it. So you let it go. It's not going to keep coming back. You're not going to go to the party and talk about the garden snake. All right? Some of you will. We'll talk about that too. All right? So if you focus on it, if it's there for a long time, you tend to focus on it. Okay? If it's there for a short time, even though it's a little bit strong, it can come in and pass. But if it's really strong, even if it's not there for a long time. I tell the story of an 8-year-old child driving in a car with their parents, and they happen to turn their head around in a terrible car accident. Really blood and body parts. Oh my God. That may stay in them forever. It took 2 seconds to drive past it. Am I exaggerating? It's called becoming fixated. What is fixated? The consciousness stayed focused on it. That child may never talk again. They could have serious psychological problems. What does that mean? That's what a psychological problem is. Something got stuck in the field of mind. How big is the field of mind? As big as the universe. There's no limit. The physical plane, there's no limit. The mental plane, there's no limit. The emotional plane, there's no limit. But when you focus on it and bring your consciousness down and focus on it, then your world is that small. God, I'm saying it. Is that not true? You know how big your world is? You. What I want, what I don't want, what I like, what I don't like, who hurt me, what's happened on my past, who's my children, I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me. That's your world. I got your mind? You get anybody? Wow. But that exact mind is the size of God. Ramakrishna once said, a great enlightened master, he said, the purified mind is no different than the self. What is the self? God, the infinite one, eternal, omnipresent, omniscient, there, God. The purified mind, the mind that's not limiting itself by getting distracted and focused. Purified doesn't mean it doesn't swear. Purified mind, there's nothing caught in it. What is a not purified mind? Depends on what got caught in it. It's the bundle of what got caught in it. How's that? Why do things get caught? They get caught because you focus on them more than other things. And now what you focus on the most stays. It could be a tiny little thing like that accident we talked about, and you're in trouble for the rest of your life. You'll never drive in a car again. There are people that will not fly in a plane. They will never get into a plane. Why? Because they watched a news flick in which a big 747 crashed and hundreds of people died and things all over the place. That made enough of an impression on that person that they won't fly to California to see their grandkids. They will give up major parts of their life because that impression took over their life. Now do you understand mind? Does it have the ability of catching your attention? That news that person watched is still in there, but it's not. It only took a minute. It was one tiny part of the news program once. Why is it still in there? Because you, the consciousness, couldn't handle that it happened. They couldn't handle it. The vibration was so intense that it captured your consciousness. You focused on it, which is fine, of course. You look at something terrible, you see it, you experience it, not turning away. Reality wins. How about I say that? Reality always wins. Reality is that which happened. How do I know it happened? Stop it. What did Christ say? Let those who have eyes to see, let them see. Let those who have ears to hear, let them hear. There. How do you know it happened? Because it's right in front of me. All right? I don't make something out of my mind and tell somebody something didn't happen that did. Or, you understand that? That's the world you live in now. And get me out of here. What's truth? That which enough people in their mind decided it was. It is not. Truth is what happened. How do I know what happened? Stop it. Okay? Can I talk to you like that? So basically, it happens. It comes in. But there are vibrations that are so strong that they pull your consciousness down to them. That's okay. Do you let them go? No. What do you mean? They're gone. The accident passed. The snake went away. The person said something. It's not saying it anymore. Why does it not make it through? Because you can't handle that it happened. The consciousness is so uncomfortable. It gets caught in the vibration. How's that? It's hard to say. People ask me, how can God get caught? Here, go into, I dare you, go into deep, deep, deep meditation. No, I hope you do. I hope you can. Whatever, even just once. Then come out and see how long it takes for you to be screwed up again. Have you noticed? Mind. Okay? So what's happening? So the vibration comes in, it distracts your consciousness, and you don't want to feel it. That's the problem. The problem is not the vibration. The problem is you don't want to feel that vibration. That's the beginning of what we call duality. That's where it comes from. Everything's one. It's just the ocean, right? But you focused on it, and you set aside what you like from what you dislike. It just happened instinctually. It's not comfortable. I don't want to experience this. Have you ever had an experience you didn't want to experience? Ha, ha, ha. Go talk to Sigmund. So you, the will, the consciousness that's in there, focused on that and couldn't handle it. What does that mean, couldn't handle it? Couldn't let it pass through. Like the words can change the meaning, don't they? I couldn't handle that. I couldn't let it pass through. Why? Okay, you're in there. You live every day of your life. Things happen. Right or wrong. It wasn't comfortable. It was scary. It was freaky. Whatever. And it came in, and you experienced it by definition. Don't worry if you didn't experience it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Came into mind. Consciousness got drawn down, focused on it, and it said, no, I don't want to experience this. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I always quote you from the third Zen patriarch, the deepest teaching one-liner that's ever been said. The great way, meaning enlightenment, is not difficult for those who have no preferences. If you don't set aside what you like from what you dislike, then everything passes through. The initial impression can be uncomfortable. You let it go. That's what letting go is. Wow, finally, you can use my words. I teach letting go, don't I? It doesn't mean out here. It means in there, where the consciousness focused on it, and now it's caught in there. What do? I know what you do. You do this thing called push it out of your mind. I don't want that in my mind. I had a terrible marriage. I got divorced. I don't want to think about it anymore. Well, you're obviously thinking about it if you don't want to think about it anymore. No, I don't want to think about it anymore. So what do? The will, the force of will, you, the consciousness, pushes it away. Have you ever pushed away a thought? Ever pushed away an emotion? You do it all the time. That's what Freud means by suppression, repression, denial. You obviously experienced it, or you wouldn't be suppressing it. Notice we're still talking about mind, aren't we? We're talking about what is going on in this field of mind. Something got stuck, and I don't want it to be stuck, and I don't want it in there. I don't want that to have happened. Okay, can we analyze that? Obviously it happened, or you would not want it to not have happened. And I'm going to tell you a secret. There is no way in the entire universe that it ever will not have happened. The very fact that it happened means it happened. Not a question of can I neutralize it? Can I rationalize it? Can I play with it because it's caught in there? I'll find a way to be positive about it. Good, wonderful. It's better than being negative. But what do you mean I'll find a way? Mind will find a way to try to neutralize the thing that got stuck inside its mind. That's what rationalization is. Is that not what's going on in there? Do you understand mind better? So the self is in there pushing stuff away. When you push it away, that's the worst thing you can possibly do on your spiritual journey, is to do what? It's bad enough that I couldn't handle it happen. Reality happens. Sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't tell you when it's said and done. I'm not telling you don't do anything about it. I'm not telling you that. But you have to let me finish about who you are and what it is. You have to understand what's going on, all right? So it comes in. It's not comfortable. It distracts your consciousness. It's not comfortable. I don't want it in here. Really, I don't want it to have happened. But I can't do anything about that. But I don't have to experience it. I don't have to sit here and experience it. Do I? Wait, you do, but what you do is push it away. You use your will to push it out of the conscious, out of the mind. That's why you call it conscious mind. I can't help myself. I know too much. There's only one mind. There's one field of mind. The truth is, there's only one mind altogether. Yours is separated because you focus on yours. Right? That's the only reason that her thoughts are different than her thoughts. No, they're all next to each other. That's why a psychic can see them. It's not your mind. Well, it's like saying it's my ocean because I'm looking at that wave. But you are fixated on the thoughts in your mind, in the part of mind that you identify with, that you hold on to. When you suppress, you're trying to push it out of your mind. It does not go out of your mind. It just goes, you know where it goes to? It goes to the place that you don't want to look at. It goes to the part of mind that your consciousness doesn't want to look at. How do you keep it there? You keep pushing it back down. Does it ever come back up? Answer me. Does it ever come back up by itself? You see a poster, you hear a word, hear a sound, smell something. Can it come back up? What do? You push it back down. I can't believe you wore that. My grandfather used to wear that, and he died years ago, and it's really bothering me. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm okay. You are not. You are not okay. I'm glad you're doing that. It's better than crying and ripping your hair out or beating somebody up for saying it. I mean, try to handle it better than that. But if what you're doing is pushing that sucker back down there, that ain't spiritual. Because what you just did was polluted your mind. It's like a virus. And computers have viruses. You don't know what they're going to do. They go down there and they spread out and they mess everything up. You don't even know it till it starts showing up. That's what suppression does. Suppression is a no-no. But we all do it every minute of every day, all the time. I'm going to get there. All right? What does suppression mean? I'm in here. Check. I don't want that in here with me. But it is in there. Not when I push it away. It's not. And not if, we never talk about that around your father. Don't do that. What's wrong with daddy? He got some suppressed stuff. Then it comes up. Now to understand mine a little better. It's not that complicated when you slow it down. How much stuff have you shoved down there? Every day of your life since you're born, things are coming in through your senses. They don't all feel the same. And you're dealing with them mostly through clinging. That's a Buddhist term. What does that mean? I like this one. Well, very good. Let it go. No. Why? I want it to happen again. I do not want it going away. I love you. Don't go to work today. I need to be with you. It means a lot to me. Stay. Cling. You understand that? Right? As opposed to experiencing, be here now, and letting things come in and go. For all you know, there'll be a more beautiful experience when he comes home and when she comes home. I don't care, right? I like this one. There's where the I comes from. The I is God consciousness having identified with the stuff you stored in there and made it ego. That's what the I is, right? Someone once asked Yogananda, great enlightened master, what is the ego, master? One-liner, ready? The masquerading self. You took these pieces that you held in your mind, the good ones, the bad ones, the like, the dislike, and so on. You pushed them away, you clung to them, and you built a mask made out of mind, made out of the things you held in there. And then you're so lost that your entire awareness of being identifies with that stuff you stored in there and said, that's me. I am the person who played Dorothy in the 5th grade. I am the person who got divorced 2 years ago. No, those are experiences you in there had. Who had the experience? Are you not in there having experiences? You are not the sum of your learned experiences. Your psyche is the sum of your learned experiences. Your ego mind is the sum of your learned experiences. That's what's in there. The experiences you had that you either held on to, pushed away, or let go through. Every day, you're 99% enlightened. Every single day, 99% of every single thing that comes into your senses goes right through. A cloud, a breath of air, the wind, a person you don't know. It just comes in and goes through. It's been doing that your entire life. But some of it didn't make it. Why? Because it distracted your consciousness and you built a house in there, in your mind, in this beautiful thing called mind that has the ability. What does Microsoft say? Where do you want to go today? I like that. Because that's what it can do. Not your computer, your mind. Where do you want to go today? Anywhere. Can you think about the Andromeda Galaxy? Can you see it? Have you got a problem with it? See? You're the one who decided to hang out with where you have problems. Where'd you get the problem? I built them up. I had these experiences every moment of my life. Things were happening. Most of them came in and went through. How much is coming through your senses? The pictures, the wall, the dots on the wall, everything. It comes in, it goes through. It doesn't distract your consciousness. But some things did distract your consciousness. And when they distracted them in a way that you liked, you clung to them. Still, same, you kept them in your mind. Clinging. Have you ever done that? Ever had an experience that you didn't want to let go of? When I kept thinking about it. My vacation was so great last year. I went to Hawaii and said, I want to go back. I think about it all the time. I made a picture album of it. You didn't have to make one outside. You already got one inside. When was the last time you made a picture album of every single thing that ever bothered you? You don't have to. It's in there. So there you have. You built a mind. You didn't build mind. Mind is there. It always was there. That's what you built it out of. But you clung to things and then you suppressed things. And those things are still there. And how do they work with each other? I was married to somebody named Ben, and he was a schnook, and we got divorced. And so I pushed all that away. And now someone's trying to fix me up on a date with somebody, a beautiful, wonderful man. Wonderful, right? And I asked, what's his name? She said, Ben. No, I had enough Ben for my entire life. I ain't going out with a Ben. How do you work it out in there? Kind of hard to live in there. And you wake up in the morning, what's going on? You know what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. The latest thing you experienced, maybe you had a dream. That pops back up. That's the latest thing you experienced. Or the strongest stuff that you pushed away years ago, what mommy did and what, right? It all of a sudden pops up. You don't know what it is. It's just, the vibration is weird. Yes or no? Okay? That's what mind is. That's what your mind is. That's all it is. Stop it. It's just stuff you stored in there, and then you identified with it. Even psychology calls it your self-concept. What's the ego? The self-concept. What's a concept? Something you made up. It's a concept. It's not real. What's your concept of? I don't know. Make it up. Make something up. It's a concept. It's not a reality. So you made this whole thing in your mind, and now you identify with it. That's your self-concept. It's not the self. Do you know you have an ego? Has anybody noticed that an ego is a bit of a problem? You guys wouldn't be here if you haven't at least started to notice. Who's noticing? Who's noticing that all of a sudden somebody's dancing with your boyfriend and you're feeling this jealousy and you know you don't need to? You've done it before and messed up your whole relationship. It's just your ego trying to hold and cling. You see this stuff. Who does? You in there, God. That's what's in there. Remember, God got distracted? That's who's noticing. What do you do about it? I don't want to talk about. 9 times out of 10, maybe more, you do something. You say something. Well, why'd you have to dance so long? What are you going? What about that secretary you have at work? That all of a sudden now, what's going on? Why are you on the phone so long? Nobody can relate to anything like that? Any time of your life? That's what's going on. So you built a concept inside of the things that bothered you the most and the things that you liked the most. And now you're trying to glue them together, trying to figure out, whoever has trouble making decisions. I want to know about that. People talk to me about that. There's a whole chapter. There's a new book coming out in March. The whole chapter in the new book on decisions. Why do you have trouble making decisions? Because there's about 60 of me in here, 600, 6,000 of me in here. And depending upon, I'll go on the web and I'll think, where do I want to go on my vacation? And I'll see the glaciers are melting. I better go see them before they melt. No, it's cold. I don't like the cold. Plus, I'll get depressed. No. What are you doing? You're trying to make it all match. You're trying to find thought patterns that when you hold them in this mess that you built up in your mind of every moment that ever bothered you and every moment that you liked, they're all in there, aren't they? You're trying to find a way to get a thought pattern that makes it through all that. And that when you're finished having the thought, yes, I will get married. I do love him. And then the mind says, you love George too. How'd that work out? But I love Harry more than I've ever loved George. Well, maybe there's somebody better. How do you know? Go on, you're married. How do you know that won't happen tomorrow or a year from now, that you'll bump into somebody in Publix and your heart will go boom, bigger than it's ever done before? You better not get married. There's your mind. You like it? You having fun yet? No. I'm just begging you, do you understand now what's going on in there? What does psychology mean by the formative years? There wasn't a whole lot of stuff in there yet, so that things make a big deal. I called out to mommy and she didn't come. I'll never forget that. And then she made a baby brother, and then I wasn't the most important person. I didn't like that at all. And my parents got divorced when I was 5. Well, you're now 85 years old. You ever think about it much? Is it still affecting your life? So that's what happens. It's just mind. It's nothing. It's something you built because you couldn't handle reality. How's that? Here's the definition of mind, of ego mind. Something you built inside of mind because you couldn't handle reality. Yes or no? Fine, you got married. Fine, you got married. You have a few good years. He turned out to be a schnook, or she turned out to be a schnook. You got divorced. Fine, you got divorced. I'll never date again. Anybody listening? You did that. You're the only one in there. There's nobody else in there. Yeah, but you don't know what my mother said 30 years ago? Mommy's dead. It ain't dead in there. Why? Because you held on to it. So what you call mind is your ego mind, is the part of the infinite mind of God, the creator of the universe. He can make music. Beethoven, it drove him crazy. Most people won't agree with me, but I like Beethoven, all right? Beethoven did not compose. He wrote down what was already going on inside his head. Go study his life. It drove him crazy. He heard symphonies that had never been written yet were going on inside of his head. Did you know that? Yes. He just heard them all. And then he needed to write them down. And then he needed to play them so he could hear them through his own ears. He went deaf the later part of his life. What did he do? Because it drove him crazy. This music was going on inside of his head, and he couldn't hear it. He couldn't express it. He cut the legs off his piano, put it on the floor. It was a wooden floor, second story, whatever, and held his ear near so he could feel the vibration of it because he couldn't hear. But he's passionate about it, all right? That's mind. Creativity, great artists, and even great thinkers. The mind can have great thoughts, can it? The quantum field, who figured that stuff out? Okay? So the mind is a great thing. It's the ego mind that's a problem. Well, it's the ego mind. I just described it to you. The parts you held and then limited your thought processes 98% to you. What you like and what you don't like and what you want and what you don't. All those just experiences you had. Every single thing you like and don't like are experiences you had that you couldn't handle. What do you mean the ones I liked? No, you couldn't handle them. You couldn't let them go. You wanted them to happen again. You started comparing everybody. That's not as nice as before. You're in trouble. So you held this stuff in there, and they all got caught in there, and now your consciousness is married. You can't get out of there. You're locked inside that prison. Now do you understand mind? Mind is a very great thing. Mind is a great thing. It can think anything. It can create. It's inspiration. It's unbelievable. But not when you lock yourself in. There are people that are very good at music or art that you will never see it because they're embarrassed to show it to you. It's just that the ego is afraid of being rejected. Why? I've been rejected before. It doesn't feel good, does it? I don't want it to happen again. So I will pattern my entire life pretty much based on the worst thing that ever happened to me. Okay? And that's what psychology is studying. And they call that mind. It is mind. What are emotions? Same. It's just a different vibration rate that you feel instead of think. They do the same things, don't they? Can't have an emotion you don't want to have. Can't have an emotion you want to have. They're just different planes, different vibration rates, and they are hooked together, aren't they? The mind thinks, the emotion feels. Emotion feels, the mind thinks. They stimulate each other. Therefore, you have one problem, ego mind. Now I know? Because what she calls a problem, he thinks is great. And what she called a problem yesterday, she thinks is great today. Or what she thought was great yesterday makes her sick to her stomach to even think about it now. All you need is one more experience, comes in, doesn't fit the ego. God, I met you and you're so perfect. Unbelievable. We had a couple of days. It was great. I can't believe you said that. I never would have thought you would say something like that. I don't ever want to see you again. Help! There were 3 other people at the table. They didn't have any problem with what I said. Yeah, but my grandfather used to talk like that, and I didn't like him at all. And the exact tone that you used and the look on your face when you said it. Plus, I can read body language. You had those hands across your 3rd chakra. I know what you meant. It's funny. Can anybody relate? Are you not living inside that mess? Is it fun? What is Buddha's first noble truth? All of life is suffering. Whoa, pretty negative guy. Guess what? All of life is suffering because of that. Life is not suffering. It's a little planet. It's very well nowhere. A lot of things going on. Kind of entertaining. And that's what's going on. Now, that does not mean that you don't act. Life is an interactive sport. God did not create creation so he doesn't experience it. It's all this vibration rates. He lowered the vibration enough to create the quantum field. It then emanated up into form, and consciousness is looking at the form it created. It's all one. And so God's creating his creation. And so therefore it's meant to be interactive. You write music, I get to listen to it. That's God writing and God listening. Every moment you're experiencing, no one has ever experienced before. No one, they're looking for a different angle, or they won't be here in a minute. They'll be out there, you're in here. Your sequence through the moments of life are unique. No one had the childhood you did. No one had the mother you did. Did they? Every single moment, you're having a unique experience that no one will ever have again, and no one ever had it. That's how special you are. You are God's emissary, ambassador, sent down to experience the moment that he created. God experiencing God, God dancing with God, spirit and nature dancing together. All right? But I told you how we screwed it up. We made a real mess of it, didn't we? You do interact, but you don't interact with something because you can't handle it. And that's generally what you do. Do you understand that? I can't handle what you said. What are you going to do? React. I'll react, not interact. I'll react because it hit my stuff. It hits your stuff in there, doesn't it? Okay? You made me feel bad. It's like, no, you're just dumping more stuff out here. You're just adding more pollution to the world. You're taking the junk you built in there that you know you're suffering. You know it's hard to live in there, and you're dumping it out here. When you get clear, means what? It means you don't have an ego? No, you have an ego. You don't identify with it. You can let it go. Somebody once asked Ramakrishna, fully enlightened, greatest being, does an enlightened being ever feel anger? You know what he said? Yes. But it's like riding on water. Go ride on water, see how long it lasts. It just passes through. It's a human emotion. But I don't have to act on it, do I? It's just something passing through. When you're clear, you are never coming from ego. You're not coming from this. You built a mess in there, didn't you? You held on. You built this cage in which you live called your limited ego. And that's your whole world now. You look at everything outside based on what you want. I don't want it. I like it. I don't like it. Whatever happened to me, I wish it didn't happen. I wish it would happen. Oh my God, what are you doing in there? You're certainly not experiencing reality. You distort reality. Every time it comes in, you distort all this garbage has to pass through. Why do you like people? Because they remind you of something. I do not like people because they remind you of something. Okay? And that's why it doesn't last real well. Because there's lots of you in there and lots of him in there. And whoa, I see who comes out today. No, you interact from a place of clarity. In other words, it comes in, it makes it through, and you look and see if there's something you can do to help. It's called service. Not I'm acting because I'm not okay or because I want something to make me be okay. How's that? People act based on I'm not okay. I avoid it. I will be okay if this happens. I'm trying to make it happen. Well, okay, that's just you. That's just ego. 100% ego. It's 100% that part of mind that you built in there. What if you let it go? Doesn't mean it's not there. Doesn't mean you still don't have thoughts and so on. But you let them go too. If the world comes in, hits something, you let it go. Look at that. It's so hot out. Yeah, you're right. It's hot out. Okay, so fine. Let go. You just keep letting go. Now who's left there is consciousness, awareness of being. The being who experienced the thing. And I'm telling you, you will find out that when you look outside, the only thing left in you is, how can I help? What can I do to help this situation? Even if your spouse of 30 years comes to you and says, I want a divorce. I'm not happy with the way things have been. You feel the initial reaction and you realize that's God living through what she built or he built, right? How can I help? Not, don't talk to me, no, I can't live. How can I help? That was graduate school, by the way. All right? But literally, that's all that's left in there is a servant of reality. There's always something you can do, a smile, an opening, an understanding, compassion. Compassion means it came in, it went through, and I understand you're having difficulty with it. I'm not having difficulty with it. It's not the same as sympathy. How can I help? How can I help? Maybe you need to tell me what's bothering you. And I'm going to listen. You know what normally in this conversation with that? Somebody starts saying, well, years ago, oh, that bothered you? That shouldn't have bothered you. What's wrong with you? Whoa, you just shove it right back in their face. What's the word? Oh, defensive. What does that mean? It hit my stuff. I couldn't handle that it hit my stuff. Boom, I'm pushing it right back. That does a lot of good. Ever notice that does a lot of good? Okay, can we take a breath? Do you now understand mind better than you did? Do you understand that mind is the only problem? Life is not a problem. It's just God expressing every single aspect of his being. How can I help? Okay? And there are beings who are clear and they do beautiful things. What do you want to do with your life? You were born and you're going to die. In between, you can try to get what you want, What do you mean? I'm going to try to be okay when things are not the way I want. I'm going to try to make it through. Or I can use my life to let go of myself, to learn to honor and respect reality, and then do what I can do to serve. Oh, thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.